Well, good morning. Good morning. We're looking at the movement of the SPX 500 right now. Seems like the market liked the jobs report data. Seems like there was a little bit of likability there. We've been going green. Giving time for the platforms to let the people know that we're here. We are here. All right, then. Let's see what's going on in the market this morning. We already see that we've got some movement after our job openings today. So we've had ADP non-farm employment change, 183,000. 183,000 non-farm jobs were added. Seems like the market liked it because it did start to move it. My grandchildren like dancing to the move it song. It started to move it. All right. There we are there. ADP non-farm employment change. What we're going to have at 8:30 is a trade balance. Well, we already had that 8:30 pass. Duh. 9 o'clock, FOMC member Barkin would speak, which is in a few minutes. 9:45, we've got final services PMI, ISM services PMI at 10 o'clock. That's a red folder. Keep that in mind. Okay. Crude oil inventories, 10:30, 2:30, Goolsby speaking, 3 o'clock, Bowman will speak, and then 7:30 after the market is closed, Jefferson is going to speak. So we got a few things you got to watch out for. We had some earnings yesterday evening. So we had some earnings. Those earnings yesterday after market close was AMD. From what I saw, read, it didn't do all that great, but we'll see what happens there. Hey, Val. Hey, Janae. Snap, Alphabet, both of those, Chipotle, Enphase, Amgen, Lumen, all of them had earnings yesterday after market close. This morning, we got Uber and Disney. Those are two probably were anticipated, happened this morning. Might want to ride the wave and see what, sometimes we look to see what's the opportunity that comes after the fact, after the morning after. Yeah, we wait to see what happens after the morning after. Hey, Carolyn. Yep. So Uber had earnings this morning. We'll go take a check at some of these here in a second. Want to see what did Adam have to say? Hey, Tanya, what did Adam have to say this morning? Adam said after a volatile start to the week, SPX is basing. Yesterday's plan was clear. As long as 59.95 holds, 6,041 was my final target, and we rallied to 6,041, which held all day and sold back to 59.95 overnight. That 6,040 yesterday was a strong place. I'm not sure if y'all could see that when it went up there. It tried to hit up there a couple times, and then was like, no, not so, sir. I'm gonna switch over real quick so you can see what the chart shows, what I was talking about. Right, this 6,040 is right up in here. It went up and it went as high as 6,042, but you see it didn't close up there, and then it attempted again back about 355. It ran up, and it's like, not so, get back. You know how those basketball players be at the net and then they smack the ball back down. That's what happened up in there. The market was like, get back, Jack. Get back, Jack. Let me put myself on the screen so y'all can see my antics, because y'all can't see my movements when I don't have myself on the screen, right? It was like, get back. That's what happened. That's what happened. So anyway, 6,040 seems to be a pretty good resistance. Now, will it hold multiple more times? Maybe, maybe not. It won't necessarily keep holding. Just know that it was a strong place yesterday, and we traded it based on that being a strong place yesterday too. We made some SPX money yesterday. Yes, we made some SPX money every day. We make a little bit of SPX money. I think I made $125 or $35 yesterday on SPX on some iron condors. I think it was 135. And then the previous day, 162, but a few dollars every day, it adds right up, right? So people like, oh, it wasn't a whole lot. Well, listen, 135, what will 135 a day do for your budget and do for your pocket? And I'm not saying I make that every day, because I don't, right? But the point is, I made it yesterday. I made it the day before. So that SPX strategy, which I'll bring that up, I have a slide for this. We'll bring it back up. But this is what happened yesterday in SPX. That's what SPX looked like. Let's go back to finish with Adam. Okay, so it said it sold back down to 59.95. Now I think we're above that this morning, because after we got this good news from the jobs report, I believe SPX is now back above 6,000, and it's at 6,019 currently. It's at 6,019, so it's back above 6,000. Okay, the plan today is 6,012 reclaim, works to the 6,031. It may dip, then 6,051, 6,062, and plus. We leg down only if we fall below 59.79. Okay. Gap between ES and SPX is about 25 points. XSP, the 606 is our call credit spread number. 597 is our put credit spread number. Callie Star says, I need to learn how to invest in stocks. This is interesting. Oh, yeah, definitely. You should come on in the room. Hey, Ward. But yeah, stocks are an asset. Stocks are an asset. You own stocks and shares. You get to go into a bank and say, I own 100 shares of blankety blank and I want to borrow against it. Right? That's something that, many of us don't necessarily know about. But see, ain't no more gatekeeping around these parts. So whatever it is, we know we passing it on, We passing it on to whoever else needs to know it. Okay, let me go back to my other screen so I can hit my morning stuff. It's right at 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, so 6,018 is where we currently are hanging out. And in SPX right now, I'm looking at SPX 500 because that is what we can see as the price moves. Do I show people how to get started? Absolutely. bit.ly/E2T-membership. Putting the link in the chat. All right. Okay. Yahoo Finance. Tech investors are aggressively buying the dip. Now, did y'all not know that was going to happen? You all already knew that as soon as it dipped down, especially on some of these strong techs like the NVIDIAs and some of these other things that people really want to own, Amazon bought up. Listen, it bought up. SPY dip, bought up. Triple Q dip, bought up, because people know that there's, AMD fell off last night. I'm sure people are going to come right back in there and buy it back up. So We're going to ride some gaps. We can do that. And here we go. Some interesting stuff is happening here. Right. Alphabet slumping, cloud sales spooked the investors. Google, I think, had what says plus 2.5. I thought Google had a little bit of a drop on earnings. Disney streaming post profit as parks take hurricane hit. Yes, definitely. Because when the hurricane come, we shut it down. Even though I went to SeaWorld one time during the hurricane, and what was like after it was over, but things weren't up and running. There wasn't nobody there but us. Me and my kids loved it. We had a great old time because the lines were, wide open. Match replaces CEO with Zillow co-founder Raskoff. Shares slide. USPS suspends inbound parcels from China and Hong Kong. Oops. So if you're buying some stuff off a TikTok shop that comes from China, it might be out there a minute. Inbound parcels. Gotta wait a minute. Uber's quarter four earnings miss overshadows booking growth, but there is up 3.66%. I wonder what this number like. Is it up today or is it up like from the beginning of the year? Up like when? Up 3.6%. Snap rises after beating profit estimates on ad strength. It's up. Alphabet Cloud sales surprise what Wall Street is saying. Apple and Amazon are both up as well. Okay, U.S. futures are knocked by Alphabet earnings. Gold strikes a record, or maybe a record high. Okay, let's move it on. Private payrolls expanded by 183,000 in January, topping expectations. USPS says it will resume accepting inbound packages from China and Hong Kong. Maybe that after when the tariff thing started, maybe that's why they held the packages and now they're going to go ahead and let them go. Let it go. Alphabet shares fall more than 7% on revenue miss. AI investment boost. Our futures, Dow futures are down 0.13%. S&P futures down 0.33%. NASDAQ futures down 0.67%. Oil is red, and so is 10-year bonds. Stock futures fall as Alphabet and AMD drop after earnings. Okay, we looked at our calendar already on Forex Factory calendar. This is today, 7 o'clock. We had some stuff. Crude oil at 8 o'clock. Trades balance at 8:30. We passed all those things. We're a little bit after 9 o'clock. Barkin started speaking at 9:45. S&P Global Composite PMI. That's going to be 9:45-ish. Yep. ISM non-manufacturing. 10 o'clock, we've got PMI, non-manufacturing PMI. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. They show it as a 3-star there, which is higher volatility. And then we've got some other things happening that are 2 stars happening later on today. All right. Let's see what some earnings people got going. Let's see what some stuff's got going here in earnings. What was I just looking at? I was here. Why was this looking different? Okay. Let me turn off VWAP so that way we don't see all the extra stuff in the clouds. Let's go see what Uber looking like though. Okay, this was Uber, right? Definitely a drop off, but this dip is already starting to be bought. Starting to be bought already. We dropped this Uber. I always say we like I'm in there with them. I don't own any Uber shares. Uber dropped down to about 64.79, 64.50, and then it started to recover after that. Janae says shipping and handling is up now, especially on things you didn't have before. Yep, if you want it, you need to want it, or you need to find somebody here who makes it. Because for what you're going to spend the extra money trying to get it here from another country, you might as well pay a few extra dollars and buy it from somebody who already has it right here. Okay. That's Uber we looked at. Who else did I say we were going to look at that had earnings? Oh, AMD. AMD also had a drop off. It hadn't started recovering just yet. Not yet. Well, it's a little higher than its low. The low was at 106. It's currently at 107. But I have no doubt in my mind that people are going to come in and start buying AMD back up. Okay. I think I saw, who else did we see that had earnings that I said I was going to look at? Oh, I can't see that without adding it to the stage. AMD, Alphabet, Snap, and Uber. I don't trade Disney. Do y'all trade Disney? Google, Snap. We looked at Uber. Google. Google also had a big old drop off. Big old drop off. But listen, these is opportunities, whether that's to buy shares if you were a shares buyer, whether that is to, play some calls to ride it back up. There's opportunities. Let's look at Disney. Disney seemed like it held steady, even though it dropped off, did its thing. Whoop, whoop. It's ran on back up where it was yesterday. It's actually higher than it was when it closed yesterday. Folks love trading Disney. I really don't. I kind of don't get it, but I guess I don't have to. AMD, Google. Oh, Snap was the other one. Snap had a pop for maybe their earnings was yesterday, right? It popped up for earnings, and then folks sold their shares quick. Now it fell off in the pre-market, and now it's recovering even from that. It's actually got, at this point, a gap up. If it was to open right now, it's gapped up from where it closed yesterday. That went with the Snap. And people who own shares will still be up, or if people did earnings, they'll still be up. Yeah, it's been a while. I think we trade Disney like once or twice. It was on our list. I know it was on our list a little while ago. Okay. We're in several things in our community. I couldn't even list it. Microsoft, Morgan Stanley, I believe we're in, JP Morgan. Well, I was going to look at Crocs. Somebody else mentioned Crocs this morning to see. Is that Crocs? That chart looked crazy. Let me switch back so y'all can see what I'm looking at. This Crocs chart looks kind of bananas in the post-market. You see all this pre-market, this little jump. It's all a gapping around in the pre-market. That's weird. But anyway, it's got time frame continuity to the downside. Let me go look. This is a 15-minute chart. Let's go look at the daily, see what the daily's looking like on Crocs. It's down 97.28 its current price, but it definitely left a gap behind. Close of one candle to the open of the other and pull back off of the price action. There we go. So if you're looking at it, it's definitely on a downwards trend, but it is coming. Looks like there's some support down here. Pretty good one. Where it bounced from was 95.32. So perhaps it's trying to get back down there. This is the bounce place back in November. It bounced from there and kind of danced around. Crocs has been up in the 114, 115s. Boy, they got a big old gap up here that hadn't been able to get filled either. So is that earnings? Not quite. Gap is from the close of one candle to the open of the next and pull back off of price action. Okay, that's the gap above that is left to be filled, to be filled, to be filled. All righty. All right, covered calls. I think Callie Star was asking about shares, and this is what we do with our shares. We buy shares or have shares or get shares, however it goes, and then we sell covered calls against them while we own them. Hey, Drew. Hey, Lisa. While we own these shares, we sell covered calls. That way we can make money back off of our purchase. We still have the asset, which is the shares, but we can make money off of the covered calls. Right? So you buy 100 shares of something. I, of course, like SoFi. You buy 100 shares of SoFi and you sell covered calls against them every week. You can do that with anything. It doesn't have to be SoFi. Buy shares of whatever it is you like, but you have to have at least 100 shares in order to sell covered calls. So this basically let the market help you pay for the shares. That's the way that goes. And then when you want to sell puts, if you want to get shares at a lower price, you're going to sell puts sell cash secure puts. Then when the price drops, like the price has done this week, even though it's been recovered in a lot of places, when the price drops this week, then you jump in and you end up with your 100 shares again, then you sell covered calls. That's the way that goes. I put 2 videos on my channel. Go ahead. If you, speaking of which, go ahead, like and subscribe. Since you're here, like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you put your thumb up and the notification bell so everybody will know that we're over here. Our list is over here doing selling. Okay, this is our list for the week. Our put credit spreads. Almost a lot of this stuff recovered, even though we took a big old dip over the weekend. A lot of things have recovered. I was going to look at Chevron and Exxon because my Chevron call credit spread is right. It's right in the part where I don't want it. I think I have 152.5. I need to go check because I think the current price is 153. But Chevron is going into the gap, and I don't want it to take me with it because I don't want to take my trade with it when it goes into the gap. But we'll work that out, right? Exxon is another one. Though these are on the bearish list, but they've been holding steady in these trade war streets. Exxon is also holding steady. Call credit spread. I got call credit spread of 110, and it's currently a little bit above 110. I don't have this trade, but we do have it on our list. Exxon is on our list. I'm not in this trade, but it's on our list, right? This is all the good stuff. We're not doing all of these things, but we're doing several of them. Okay, that's the trades list for the week, and you can still do. Today's Wednesday. Wednesday's a great day to get into credit spreads for the week because you only have a couple days that you're going to stay in the market with your collateral. You know, you don't have to worry about all of the ups and downs or the volatility about your stock. If you get in on Wednesday, you only got to worry about from here to Friday. All right. Our annual membership is available now for Black History Month. Is available for $9.97 instead of $97 a month. We pay $97 a month for the membership. If you want to come in and pay for the year, that way you don't have to keep paying every month. It's available at educatortotrader.com for $9.97. SPX Playbook. This is the strategy that we use every single afternoon. Between 2:30, 4 o'clock, we got people who are entering at different times between 2:30 and 4 o'clock. Some people are getting in at 2:30, 2:30 around then. I've done that. I did it yesterday. And then I got in again later. And I got some people who getting in at 3:55, literally at the end of the day, putting their collateral out for 5 minutes. And that's all they're doing. So you can use this strategy to do either one of those times and pull in profits. Right? Your profits are going to be commensurate with, of course, what it is, how much money you're putting up as far as collateral and the timing of things and what's the proximity of SPX to your trade at the end of the day, right? Still utilizing and still promoting the Candlestick Mastery Calendar. This month, we're looking at the bullish engulfing candle, basically where it turns around from going downwards to going upwards. I'm going to show you a bullish engulfing that's happening. That happened yesterday. Look at this right here. Y'all can see this candle right here. This is Exxon. But see, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to learn on a candlestick. This bullish engulfing. Basically, this is a hammer, which we learned about last month. Look at them two candles that we learned about in that Candlestick Mastery book. Candlestick Mastery. This is a hammer, which indicates upwards movement. And then this next candle is a bullish engulfing. This was going down, turned around and went right on back up. You got that one. There's another one back here. This isn't as strong of a bullish engulfing, but it did the same thing. Basically, where the second candle engulfs its previous candle, that's what that is. SPX 500. Let's go back so we can make sure we keep our SPX on the screen. Okay, y'all see these wicks? Wiki, those are daily charts though. But that was all those wicks say we want to be going up. That's what those wicks say. We want to be going up. Here's another bullish engulfing. 1-3 for those who follow the strat. Once it passed the top of that one candle, there's an entry and you see all these moves. Lord, I be seeing all these things after the fact. I see all this stuff after the fact. Got to be watching my charts a little closer because the way my attention span is set up, I have a hard time just watching candles. But this is where this right here, entry was right at the top of this red candle. Y'all see my mouse? Entry was right here. And what did it do the rest of this time? This is SPX 500, even though, of course, we ain't trading this right now. But SPX does the same thing. When you're trading SPX, it'll do some of the same stuff right here. This was February the 3rd, so this was Monday. Boom, one candle. Once this 3 candles superseded that one candle, it was time to go. Ready to go right now. And you don't have to do it on SPX. This happens on SPY. It happens on Triple Q. It happens on any stock you're trading. Any stock you're trading, it'll do the same thing. But you need to know, how do you read the candles? How do you read the candles? And how are you going to learn that? By the Candle Mastery Calendar. There's 12 patterns in here. And it's explained what is the pattern. And on the next page down, it talks about how do you trade it. Not only how do we identify it, but how do you trade it? All right, that's there. You can go over to, of course, yes, hindsight is 2020. You can go to bit.ly, MELINSP. It's capital MEL, capital INSP. Hindsight is 2020. You see all the stuff. You're like, I can see it now so clearly. All right, but if you get you a Candlestick Mastery, and you really can just learn 3 to 4 patterns that you like: the double top, the double bottom, the evening star, the morning star, in bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, the hammer, and the shooter. That was what, 8 candles. And you learn those, you can run them every day, all day. Run them every day, all day. You don't even need to have a whole lot of stuff. You just run those, right? You can grab your Candlestick Calendar. Our Option Seller Zone membership, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Learn, trade, profit the seller's way. We're a great supportive community, if I do say so myself. Profitable strategies for less screen time, daily profits to grow your account, training, and support. Right. I ask that when you come into the membership, that you come in with the plan to spend at least 3 months. 6 really would be better, but plan to spend some time. That way you can take full advantage of all the things that we have going in the membership. I've had people who join the membership and they're there for like a month and then they're, bouncing out. And of course, how you spend your money is up to you. I'm reading this book called Let Them. So if people want to go, you let them. But I'm saying is, if we don't stay in one place and get really honed in on one strategy and continue to stay with somebody who's going to guide you to profitability, then you jumping around. The jumping around will lead to what it leads to. How do I know this? Because I've done it. I've done it where I jumped around, jump around. Then you look up like, why am I losing money? It's because you're doing too many things. Trying to do too many people, trying to do too many different strategies, and it's just not profitable. Okay, it's true. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just the truth. I've done it, so I know what it's like. I know that we see shiny objects, or we see so-and-so over here did blank. Oh yeah, let me go over there. And then before you know it, you're like, I'm over here. But then you get over there and what looked like it was all, gold and glitter was some spray paint. It looked fantastic over here, but it's over the septic tank. So it's funky and it's toxic. It's all about those things. You want to be with people who are going to really care about your profitability and not just care about your money. And that's me. I'm really trying to make sure that the people who hanging out with us are going to consistently get profitable. All right. That's my plan and my desire. All right. This is the Option Seller Bundle. It basically includes all of the strategies that I teach. This is a DIY because it comes as videos. If you really want to be in the community and with us and still have access to this stuff, you got to join the membership. If you join the membership, you still have access to all these things, but you got to be inside the membership to do that, right? And you can still see all the things and to have a coach, because really we want to still have a coach. I hope we do. I do. I think we should. I have a coach. I have a person who is my mentor. I don't call him, he is my coach. He's my mentor and my coach. I have one because I said this on our Saturday phone call during my Saturday walk. If you with somebody who's leading you and they said they're not following anybody, or they don't have a coach, they don't have a mentor on their own, you need to leave them, because they getting ready to lead you down the wrong path. Because none of us know enough to not need to be led some more, because the stock market, there's always somebody better at it than you. Believe me, every coach needs a coach. Somebody who's doing it on the next level. Y'all see how SPY has recovered this morning? This is SPY. SPY dipped down to 597. It is right now at 600. It just recovered. It's recovering in the pre-market. Y'all, we can't have no fun in the pre-market unless you trade in shares. You can have fun if you trade in shares in the pre-market, but they $600 a piece. Of course, you can use some things like where you can buy partial shares on some of the platforms. All right, this is what SPY is got going this morning. I was checking out a few of the equities and indices. Let's see what Triple Q has going. It look almost like the SPY chart, doesn't it? Looks very similar. We dipped, baby, and then recovered. Dip, baby, but it's still going to be a gap down because we closed yesterday up here at in the 524. What was yesterday's close? That last candle is not necessarily yesterday's close. Okay, yesterday it closed at 524. Right now it's at 521. So it's still going. At this point, we're 8 minutes away, but it's climbing. Okay, that's Triple Q. In the pre-market, let's go see what IWM has got going in the pre-market. I had an IWM trade for the gap fill, and I closed it before the market closed yesterday. Actually, I would have been up a little bit because it closed over here at 226, and now it's at 227. I'd have had a few more dollars, but I closed until you see profit, take profit. Listen. So IWM is going to gap up this morning. We'll see what happens with that. IWM got moving, and it's going to keep moving. All righty. I'm going to get us off of here before the market opens, before we have the ding, ding, ding. Okay, free resources at e2t-freebies.com. That's where I've got a whole slew of things that you can go over there and grab for the free. All right, for the free. Our trader declaration. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses and my accounts growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I am a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. That should be your declaration each day, that you have a plan that you're trading and not your emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. All righty. I believe I've done as the Lord has commanded, and yet there is room. Today, we're going to watch. Those of you who are in my community, we've got some trades that are probably going to be ready to close today. I'll make sure that I signal those inside of our Telegram. And if we see something interesting to go into, we just might. We're in a lot of stuff. So I looked at my little list of trades that I'm in, and I'm in a couple more than I want to be, that I'm comfortable being in. So at this point, I'm going to be looking to scale back and trim back, right? We caught some good stuff this week. We still got a couple days, but anything that's ready to close, we're going to close it up, close it up, close it up. Yep, we're going to close it up. All right. Okay, everybody, I want you to do two things. I want you to stay green. I want you to get this money. If you're in my community, you can find me in the Telegram. Otherwise, if you're not in my community, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? Go to educatortotrader.com and join the membership. All righty. I'll see you all in the market. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.